it's almost over. I ain't gonna let it pull me under, but I will conquer. It's almost over. I ain't gonna let it pull me under, but
A very good afternoon to all our viewers. Welcome to Dialogue Rugby League 2018-19 season. We are bringing you live pictures from Longdon Place, the CRNFC grounds, as the home team in reds will take on the men in pink, the Havelock Park, their neighbours, and it's going to be a really exciting encounter, especially after that stunning performance by Havelocks against the police last week around, and a great tactical change by coach Sarath Martis to bring that game back to glory in terms of the Park Club. And CRNFC, of course, it's a much needed win for them because they are hosting this Matthews Trophy, and it's going to be a real encounter because they are coming after that defeat against the mighty Candy, 14-all in that first half, and at the end of the game Candy played like the champions in this week 4 Dialogue Rugby League. And today we are bringing you the week 5 of the Rugby League action, and you can see both the teams doing their warm-ups. And if you look at the CR in terms of their star red hot player, it's Tarinder Ratwata, who's really in a great form. And if you call someone in pink hot form, it is none other than the man will wear the number 12 shirt, Dinu Kamarasinghe, former St. Anthony's captain, played for Sri Lanka Senior Sevens as well, and it's going to be a real battle between them. And cast conditions, thunderstorms maybe later on, but now it's 27 Celsius, perfect weather conditions, and later it's going to be 24. And anyway, we have a wind factor 24 kilometers from the northeast side of this park, and it's going to be crucial in terms of nailing those points for Nirosh.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves, only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites, only from Crescent.
Get with the global Pulsar Mania now and upgrade to the new and improved Pulsar 200 NS from David Peary's Motor Company Private Limited.
it's almost over. They ain't gonna let it
A
pull
very good afternoon once again. Welcome to Dialogue Rugby League Week 5 action. We are bringing live pictures from the Longland Place at the home team in red. The CRNFC will host the men in pink, the Havelock Sports Club, in this fifth week encounter. It's going to be a really important game for both the teams, especially for Havelocks because they are unbeaten, so as the defending champions Candy Sports Club were unbeaten in this season so far, as they beat CRNFC last week. It was a very close game in fact, but we'll go through the roundup of week 4, what happened in Ratmalana first half between the Sailors and the Airmen, and both teams really played head to head, and Buddhima Piratna was on song in that game. Scored the first try. Buddhima, of course, playing for Sri Lanka Sevens team as well, and that's a silky offload, and Gayantha Iddamal got to say thank you very much all the way for the try, and they narrowed the deficit early on in the first half. And then Navy powered through their forwards. Silva straight away into the try, and followed by Air Force. You can see tries coming from all the corners, and this is too easy for Navy. Again Charit Silva, the big tight head prop, and Mohammad Abzar with the conversion. At the end it was 43 points to 25 in favour of the Sailors. And the week 2, this is the game we were talking about early on, and Police, what a game they played in that first minute or even the first 60, scoring back-to-back tries and leading that half-time comfortably 14 points to nil. And then even the very first try in the 3rd minute of the second half, and pretty much in the driving seat, but great tactical changes by coach Sanat Maris, bringing on the experience Ganju Lakshan and also Sandun Herat, who ran so much of distance. At the end it was 31 points to 26 in favour of the Park Club. And then at Police Park, it's another surprise or a shocker in terms of CHNFC and the Army. 13-10 in favour of CH at the first half, and this try in the second half for the Soldiers, it came after 3 attempts. Three times it was held up inside the try line, and 4th time lucky for Army. Gayan Salinda with that tougher conversion, and at the end Army winning that 24 points to 18, and that was their first win in this season. And the big game back in Kandy, what a lovely running, understanding and a line work by the number 7 Shehan Patirana, bit like Chris Ashton's dive. And CRNFC also played so well in that first half because it was 14-all, as you can see on the screens. And Bunak Odangama, what a battle between him and Umalka Gunaratna. Of course Bunak winning that challenge in fact back in Nittawala. Umalka of course conceded 3 breakdown penalties. It's another break by Java. Wonderful effort by the big man. He is one of the unsung hero for the defending team or the defending champions. Riza Rafidin scored that too little too late for the Reds. 41-30 was the story back in Nittawala. And we'll see of the results. This is how it ended in week 4. 26-31 to Havelocks, 24-18 for Army, 19-28 for Navy, and 41-30 Kandy against CRNFC. And joining me in the commentary box, Abdullah Yusuf, former CRNFC assistant coach and former Royal College captain in 97. Very good afternoon to you, Abdullah.
Good afternoon, Sabir. Yes, it's going to be a very interesting game today. Havelocks have done extremely well to remain unbeaten throughout the season so far. CR were also unbeaten until last week, as its table indicates, but unfortunately going down to Kandy in a rather close game, although the scoreline may say otherwise. Thought till the very end the CR were very much in it, but both teams have a lot to play this weekend. Havelocks no doubt will be looking to maintain their unbeaten streak. It shows in the points table, and just keep abreast with Kandy SC, while CRNFC no doubt will want to try and get back to winning ways as soon as possible and climb up that ladder.
Absolutely. Kandy right away on the top with 24 points, and what is important is 4 bonus points, whereas Havelocks has only 2 bonus points, 22-24. It's going to be coming to hand, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yes, bonus points are absolutely crucial, and I think that's all the more reason why teams have to ensure that they play 80 minutes of rugby and not relax at any stage. CR have been guilty of doing that in certain games where they have had the opposition on the back foot, but haven't managed to push the issue further.
Here's the top try scorer Dhanush Ranjan, the man from Kandy, and Tarinder Rathwate with 63 points at the end of 4 weeks. And between Rathwate and Dinu Kamarasinghe, the battle going to be really crucial because Rathwate is playing outside centre, whereas Dinuk will be playing as an inside centre. And let's have a look at some highlights of what happened last year between these two teams. Early on in the first leg at Havelock Park, under lights, Rathwate with the very first points. And then Riza Mubarak, reliable Riza Mubarak with 2 back-to-back penalties, 6 points to 3. The Park Club led from the start, and then came the try. Referee Irshad Kader, sadly we don't see him in the rugby circuit doing the referee anymore. Havelock's 12-8 in the half-time. Once again Riza Mubarak solid in the second half between Riza and Rathwate. And this is a wonderful break and lovely pass. Rehan Silva, almost an opportunity if he offload at the first space. However, after consulting the assistant referee, try is awarded. Then came Rathwate's another lovely conversion. Here's the skipper covering the Pereira, 2-on-1. That's a very good offload to Chamud Fernando. Could have been a penalty try. It was very high. And then Dushmanta Priyadarshan and his forwards had some venom and came back into that second half. Again CRNFC with position. Here's the danger. Tarinder Rathwate to skipper Kavindu Pereira, and he went almost to score by himself, but 30 points to 22, how it ended in that all-important clash last time. So since 2014, Havelocks have won 6, and the home team for today's game, CRNFC, have won only just 2. Can they win the third Abdullah?
There's no reason they can't, but they will have to be at the top of their game. Sabir, I think Havelocks have surprised a few doubters from the season so far. They've lost quite a few players to other clubs, but nonetheless there's some exciting talent that has come through the ranks and have put their hand up, as well as the experienced hands, guys like Lidston Flatley, Sudarsh, Dushmanta Priyadarshan. They have been brilliant at the scrum time. They have been the outstanding front row really, and the informed front row along with Azmir Fajuddin. So Sia, I think, will have their work cut out when it comes to set pieces, especially at scrum time. They will definitely be tested, and also their line out. I thought the line out was pretty abysmal last week against Kandy, and was probably one of the main reasons why they lost. It's not just that they could not win their own line-out ball. I thought their line-out defense against Kandy's driving ball was rather poor as well. So I'm no doubt that coaches Nilfa Ibrahim and Anwar Walpola would have had a close look at that and rectified those mistakes, because they will have to be very clinical and efficient against this Havelocks 8, because that is definitely Havelocks' strong point. And if they can get the CR back some good front foot ball, then they can definitely pose a big threat to this Havelocks team.
Absolutely indeed. Let's go through the team cards. First up, the home team, CRNFC. And we'll see whether any changes coming on from the previous game. And it's going to be Hafiz Noor in the lucid prop. Just waiting from the team card. Here it comes on the screens, and Dulanjana Vijay Singh didn't have an impressive season with the red jersey so far. Abdullah will talk about that. And Kokila Samban the Perima playing as a tight head prop. Shahan Diaz and Panduka Angamana both in really decent form this season. Joel Pereira, Shemal Viraseka and Umalka Gunaratna in that loose forward will be vital for this evening as well. And Rahul Disilva combining with Chanaka Chandimal. Interesting move by coach Nilfa Ibrahim. We'll see whether it will going to pay off for the home team. Riza Rafaidin in the left wing, Rehan Silva partnering with Tarinder Rathwate in the centre combination, and skipper Kavindu Pereira and Kevin Dixon at the back at the full-back position. And the finishers or the replacement, Swen Muller, Charna Chamikara, Udara Gayan, Gayan Dilshan, Wajid Fahmi, Sumit Rankodge, Kavindu Costa and Randita Varnapura would be the replacement for CRNFC. And for Havelock's Dushman Priyadarshana, former captain Azmir Fajrin and Liston Flatney, very experienced, and Azmir Fajrin playing like he's an experienced lad. And Sharo Fernando and Umesh Madhushan. Sharo, of course, has to be very careful in terms of giving away those yellow cards. Sinal Dilaka, Sitam Piris, and Lasandu Karuna Tilaka are the loose forwards. Vimukti Rahula will start with his captain on his outside. Chamara Dabare in the left wing. Dino Kamar Singh, a man in the pink hot form. Imanka Aryapala in the centre along with him. Sanun Herat, former Sri Lanka Sevens cap, and Riza Mubarak at the fullback, the reliable kicker. And the replacement for coach Sanat Madi's team, Rahul Dilpachitra, Chanaka Bandara, Tanuj Jayavira, Shaukat Lahir, Sashan Mohammed, Sandesh Jayavikrama, Mithun Hapagoda, and Randy Silva would be the replacement. So decent bench, decent starting lineup, but the tight five in terms of experience, Abdullah.
Yes, I think that's the area where Havelocks will definitely have an edge. I think they've been on form as well. Guys like Madhushan and Sharo Fernando too have done extremely well. So they will definitely test that CRNFC tight five as well. But I think from CR's point of view, what they've got to do is they've just got to get good front football for their three quarters. Because if they do that, they have got enough ammunition in their back play to cause problems to that Havelocks defense.
Alright, let's have a look at, we in fact had a look at the team cards, and we'll take a quick commercial break, and don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the live action on this Dialogue Rugby League.
This match is brought to you by SAGT, proud sponsor of Sri Lanka Women's Rugby and CRNFC. This match is brought to you by EFL, proud sponsor of the Sri Lanka Rugby Referees and Havelock Sports Club.
Thank you for our sponsors bringing this match live. Expo Freight and SAGT, South Asia Gateway Terminals. And all said, both the teams are done with their warm-ups. And it's going to be a cracking encounter as we discuss. Brought to you or bring you all this league from the main sponsors of the tournament, Dialogue, of course, for the consecutive times. And we also saw Shreyan Kure, the president of CRNFC, along with Roshan Dean, club, in fact, council member of Sri Lanka Rugby as well, a while ago. And sadly, Abdullah, we don't see those good old days spectators anymore. But nonetheless, Kavindra Perera leading from the front.
Yeah, that's right, Sabir. Traditionally, it's been a very hotly contested, keenly contested affair between these two clubs. Both clubs having a very rich history behind them, not just in terms of rugby, but as well as in terms of fellowship and camaraderie as well. So I'm sure the crowds will turn up as the season progresses, because we've so far seen some pretty good rugby as we see the CR team taking the field. And I think the more spectators come to the grounds, I think just motivate the players to just up their performance even further.
Thank you, Yusran Rantra. Just said that Kavindra Perera, the captain, is the birthday boy. Happy birthday, Kavindra. We'll see whether you can. We'll have a winning birthday today. Dushmanta Priyadarchana slaps his face. And the skipper, Niroshan Fernando, and his pink army comes to the center. Sitam Piris, of course, had a good game last week. Vimukti Rahul rather at the halfback position, former Josephian player, played for Sri Lanka under 20, but he has got that starting lineup since Sudham Surya left over the club.
Yeah, he's done reasonably well, hasn't he, at that number 9 position. Slowly but surely he seems to be getting his authority into the game, bossing the forwards around, and I'm sure he will have a big part to play along with his skipper, who is playing outside him as well.
Priyantha Gunaratna, the man in charge, along with Akil Jamaldeen and Aruna Shanta, the assistant referee. Tharindra Rathwata, the highest point scorer with 63 in this season. And the home team will attack from left to right on your screens. Here's Rathwata, and changing directions straight away into Chamara Dabare. Rehan Silva held him up and ripper by Dushmanta Priyadarshana, and he made another 1 to 2 meter. Rahula with his first touch to Liston Flatney. Havelock's driven backwards from the first breakdown with a little banana kick from Niroshan Fernando straight away into Tarinda. Rahul De Silva sends out to Kevin Dixon with his first touch. He's got dazzling footwork. Here's Dushmanta. In fact, Dulanjana Vijay Singh, I beg your pardon, Chandimal sets it up nicely and sends out to his big number 8, Omalka Gunaratna, who made through a valuable 3 meters. And that's a sloppy work. First mistake of the game. Chandimal sends out a flat pass to Dulanjana, and he just could not hold on to it early on. Is that a pressure factor?
I think it's just an error, really. I think that pass definitely should have been collected. Sia seemed to have been building a few phases and asking a few questions of that Havelock's defense. But unfortunately, Dulanjan is just spilling the ball. These are the kind of errors that Sia just cannot afford to do, as we have a look at that once again. It was right in his breadbasket. No excuses for dropping that, really.
Dulanjana Vijay Singh, former Wesley College cricket under-19 cricket captain. Played rugby as well, played for Navy Sports Club last year. He was outstanding for Navy. And here's the first scrum of the game in favor of Havelock's Lasindu Ishan Karnatilaka, former Science College captain, who lifted the Milo President Trophy for the first time in 2015 under his captaincy. Again, men in pink are marching forward, a battle among Sharu Fernando. Senal Dilaka with a pick and go. He was driven backwards. Here's Dushmanta Priyadarshana again. CRNFC showing some great commitment in their defense. Niroshan Fernando with a pop pass. And that comes loose, but it's the early penalty taken it quickly by Vimukti Rahula. Goes to right and left, trying to dummy through his counterpart. Aryapal acting as halfback. Karuna Tilaka goes into contact. Riza Mubarak puts the kick. Nicely timed kick, and the ball just goes into the 22. Cleverly done by Riza Mubarak, getting that territorial advantage early on.
That's right. I think he spotted a bit of space at the back. Kevin Dixon had it covered, but could not cover the angle of the kick. So Riza, just using his experience, identified the importance of spending some time in the CR's 22 earlier on in this game. CR again, just that discipline letting them down, conceding that penalty after constantly putting Havelocks on the back foot. They've just got to ensure that they maintain their discipline at those vital moments.
And here's that Rahul taking it quickly. Great show by Havelock scrum off. Most of the modern day scrum off used to do that, taking quick taps and trying to win that advantage in terms of making those yardage. Rahul De Silva this time with his box kick. It doesn't find any of the distance, in fact. Straight away into Rahul once again. That's not a good pass to Chamar Dabare, taking on Kavindu Pereira, the Sia captain. Kavindu, of course, got some textbook tackling in him, but there's another knock on. So it's going to be in favor of the Reds.
Yes, a poor pass really by Niroshan Fernando. He has to identify whom he's passing to. On that occasion, he had Azmir Fajuddin outside, and Azmir, as we all know, is a front row forward. You cannot have those hanging passes and expect the front rows to run into that. As we have a look at that once again, Dabare collecting, going into contact. Good technique, placing the ball. Niroshan Fernando on, or rather Riza Mubarak on hand to clear the ball. And it was very well recycled. You just want to know whether it was necessary to sling that long pass at that stage. It just turned possession over.
Here's the first Sia scrum, nicely offloaded by Omalka Gunaratna. Rahul De Silva, Kavindu Pereira steps and dancing his way inside, and the ball comes out. Havelocks with the turnover, waiting for the numbers, and Rahul sends out wide. So both the hookers with a knock on each. Liston Flatney trying to pump through his from that ruck and trying to go that extra mile. Rahula to Fernando. Number 10, offside, looks like Chandimal.
I think it was Omalka. He was definitely not behind the hindmost foot. Just these silly mistakes, really. There is absolutely no reason to try and get in the scrum half's way. Sia had their defensive line well sorted. It's just that impulsive behavior by Omalka sometimes just he lets himself down.
Fernando puts the ball into the touch, and it's going to be the second line out inside Sia's 22.
So just a quick observation as we have a look at that once again. Omalka, as we saw on that occasion, just not behind the hindmost foot at that breakdown, and he's been penalized. So far, we've seen a couple of scrums, Sabir, and you could see Havelock's already inserting their dominance at that set piece. So it's an area of the game where Sia will have to try and counter well. If not, they could find a lot of problems in trying to get good quality position for their backs.
Spot on. Here's the line out in favor of Havelock's. Fajudin with the throw, collected by Situm Piris. Havelock moving forward, trying to drive traditionally, or rather what they did this season quite well. Referee Priyantha Gunaratna says completely fine. Now this is not a driving maul, it's a rolling maul. There's a bit turn right to left and it pops out. Maintaining position. Pick and go by Fernando. Taking time. Liston Flatney was driven backwards. Rahula to his skipper. Fernando opting to go by himself. This time Havelock's playing for the shorter side. Chamara Dabore was well marked. Pick and go once again. Shot of Fernando also joins that. Again Liston Flatney. Couldn't do much. Another pick and go. See, our defense has to be patient. So this is where most of the team concede that all-important penalty. At the look of it, they're not trying to contest this breakdown battle. Just trying to be patient and not letting Havelocks to gain any yard. Rahul at this time, no option but send out to his captain, Fernando. Not once, it was twice he went by himself. Trying to put a dummy this time by the scrum half. He was driven backwards. Who's going to play as a halfback? Another pick and go. Great defense so far by CRN FC. This is where the decision making comes to count. Niroshan Fernando, he needs to call his troops. Rahula sending out wide. Lovely 2-on-1. Another good defensive work coming in from the far corner. Touch of right arm by Riza Rafaidin. Rahula to Fajudin to Dushmanta Priyadarshana. Quick ball, shot of Fernando. Rahula once again. Lasan Dushan acting as the first receiver. Dinu Kamarasinghe, an offender. Lovely offload. Dinu Kamarasinghe. And what a try coming in. This is what we were talking about. The Amarasinghe, the man in pink hot form. And Chamara Dabare says thank you very much. That is very patiently moved work, Abdullah.
Absolutely, very well constructed try, but what a wonderful bit of skill by Amarasinghe. Sonny Bill Williams would have been proud of that offload. You could just sense how he ran between the two players, drew both of them, and this just had that ability to offload. Wonderful bit of skill. Dabare will take the kudos, but the assist will definitely go in favor of Amarasinghe. A wonderful bit of work.
Chamara Dabare with the name on his score sheet. There is. We'll try to see another action replay of that brilliant offload. This is not the first time in this season Dinu Kamarasinghe was outstanding in the game against CHNFC as well. 2 touches, 2 tries. Riza Mubarak with the toughest conversion with the angle. Nearly 40 meter. And the conversion is absolutely peach. So 7 points to the visiting team. with courtesy of Shamar Dabaris try.
It's wonderful conversion by Reza from the left flank. But let's just look at this again. What a wonderful bit of skill. And let's just look at the running line of Amarasinghe. He ran between two players, drew both of them. Kavindu Pereira just was not sure whether to stick with his man or to go to Amarasinghe. And Amarasinghe just offloaded with brilliant timing. And with that, Havelocks take a 7 points to nil lead.
So restart taken by Havelocks, Sharo Fernando. In fact, Umesh Madhushan sets up nicely. Turnover. Play on, says referee. Some comedy of errors by both the teams. Sinal Dilaka acting as halfback. That's a big hit by Dushmantha Priyadarshana. Good tackle equally by Rehan Silva. And Pandu Kangamana combining the number 4 for CRNFC. That's another breakdown penalty. Number 4 to Sinal Dias, I reckon.
Yeah, it was one of those 50-50 calls. I don't think you could blame Shenal too much. He probably felt that he had the rights to the ball. But referee Priyantha Gunaratne indicating that the ruck had already been formed. So unfortunately for Sia, they've conceded a penalty and gives Fernando an opportunity to thump the ball down the ground. But once again, just let's talk a little bit more about that wonderful offload by Amarasinghe. He's been fantastic for the Sri Lankan Sevens team this year. He was just making his debut this year and it was absolutely outstanding, and he's just carried that form on in this club season, and no doubt a tremendous prospect for Sri Lankan rugby in the future.
Hey, it's a 50-50 call, isn't it, Abdullah? Senal Dias trying to win that breakdown battle. But Priyantha Gunaratne, the referee, much closer than us. And this time, Havelock going deep. Very well worked. Here's Shara Fernando running laterally. And placed it nicely. Pick and go by Lasindu Ishan Karna Tilaka. Liston Flatney, another pick and go. Great work by Havelocks. Playing it smart. Rahula this time to Shara Fernando. Quick hands. Dinu Kamarasinghe once again. Almost beat his Chanaka Chandimal. Mubarak acting as first receiver. Havelocks maintaining the position right on the center field. Aryapala also joins the ruck. Niroshan Fernando to Sharo. Fernando should have given to his inside. Came a little late, but Fernando was well marked by Senal Dias. Shehan Dias rather. Havelocks once again. Senal Dilaka with a pop pass driven back. Reza fight in with a long pass to Lasindu Ishan. And the first touch for the CRNFC is in fact Havelock Sandun Herat. Havelock still managing to keep position. Need to break the gain line advantage. Big Flatney. Looks like it's going to be a penalty. In fact, Shara Fernando is down injured. That's not Shara Fernando. So referee is calling the doctors. In fact, Umesh Madhushan. And I'm not sure whether the water break is allowed, Abdullah.
Yeah, well, there was a stoppage in play, so I think the players made use of that to just refresh themselves a bit. But nonetheless, another penalty conceded by Sia. They do make some good tackles and put Havelocks on the back foot, but then again, just don't show enough patience to just not infringe at the breakdown. And this is about the third penalty they have conceded. They've got to be a bit careful, because if they try the referee's patience too much, they could be down a man very soon.
Havelocks leading 7 points to nil. We are into the 15th minute of this Dialogue Rugby League 2018-19 season. Of course, the men in pink are the unbeaten team in this encounter. Despite the fact they are winning last year's encounter 30 points to 22. Here's another line out inside or almost close to 22. Fajudin collected well by Situm Piris. Trying to set that maul and trying to make those distance. That looks like a collapse. Few bodies on the ground. And where is the sign? Referee Priyantha Gunaratna awarding a penalty in favour of Havelocks. They just want to have a word with Kavind Pereira.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was a collapse maul by Omalka. This is an area of the game where Sia struggled last week as well, Sabir. And this Havelocks team have managed to identify that and continually apply pressure at line out time with their driving maul. So Sia will need to be a bit careful. Havelocks, they're doing extremely well in the sense they're controlling possession. Although they seem to be hit on the back foot on a few occasions, they just managed to maintain their composure, recycle ball, and they're controlling possession. And Sia, unfortunately, are just not showing enough patience and not infringing, which they are, as we can see. Omalka just very dangerous, recklessly going just below the waist of the ball of the player who caught the ball and conceding a penalty.
Conceded 3 penalties last week against Kandy, 2 already in this game. We are still in the 16th minute and Havelocks with a solid opportunity. Sharo Fernando with the catch. Havelocks trying to set this. Here comes their power. Dushmanta Priyadarshana controlling that. Here comes those pumping legs. Can they score the second try? Moving forward, Havelock Sports Club. No. In fact, it's an accidental obstruction. I think Sharo Fernando, the man who caught the ball in the air, then he broke it and he was trying to rejoin that driving maul. Would be interesting to see this replay. There comes Sharo Fernando. Oh, is it a knock-on? I think it's going to be a knock-on, yes.
Yeah, that's right. I think on that occasion, Sia did very well. They did not let Havelocks get any momentum as soon as they collected the ball. The counter drive was very good, and Havelocks just could not get that base they needed to form that line-out drive. So good defensive work by Sia. Now it's important that they're accurate in this next play and just get out of their own 22. Players enjoying a short breather. The humidity level is quite high today, isn't it, Shabir? Last few days it has been nice and cool, but it's the conditions are a bit overcast, but the humidity factor is very much prevalent, and you can see that by the amount of liquids that the boys are taking in.
Another scrum, this time the chance for CNFC to come out of jail. Rahul De Silva. We didn't speak much about him in the last 18 minutes. Here's a break by Omalka. Situm Piris with the tackle, and it was Senal Dilaka with the second tackle. And that's another penalty. Taken it quickly by Niroshan Fernando. And that's going to be a not 10 meter re-penalty. Interesting. Do you think whether Niroshan will go to the post for the 3 points?
Yes, it's an interesting call, but again, Sia just faltering at the crucial moments. They needed to be absolutely accurate and clear their lines, but a lack of communication at scrum time resulting in them conceding a penalty. So, interesting call. Looks like Niroshan will be opting for a scrum, which won't be the worst of choices, because so far in the little bit we have seen, Sia have dominated at scrum time. Havelocks have dominated at scrum time. As you have a look at that once again, I think the player in front played the ball when Rahul had his hand. I think that was the only reason why that penalty was conceded. So a great opportunity for Havelocks. It'll be interesting to see whether they'll go for an 8-man drive. Sadun Herat looming on that short side on the right-hand flank, another attacking option as well.
Rahul feeds the scrum. Lasin Dushan Karnatilaka controlling from the back of the scrum. Moving forward very nicely. Lasin Dushan twist and turn a bit. Could have controlled that scrum for another meter or so. perhaps another penalty was on offer, but interesting call by Havelocks. I thought they were going for the 3-pointer. Priyadarshana places the ball once again. Pick can go by Flatney. Rahula. Lasan Ishan waiting outside. Big fan coming in. Lasan Ishan. Great escape from that defensive work by Sia. Missed the first tackle. 2 meters, a meter, maybe short, and just a dive comes in, and that's try time. Excellent work once again. That man, Dushmant Priyadarshana, you can't keep him away.
Wonderful bit of work by the Havies forwards. They continuously attacked on the fringes, and then Priyadarshana, how many times he has done that for Havelocks over the years, just identifying the exact moment where he needs to pop up, collect the ball, identify the gap right over the ruck, and just went over. Let's have a look at that once again. Good desperate defense by Havelocks, but Priyadarshana just identifying the correct moment to put that dive in, and now Havelocks, after a period of concerted pressure, a well-deserved 12 points to nil lead, and I don't think Mubarak will have much problem in slotting this one over. So Havelocks have done extremely well. They've controlled possession throughout the first 20 minutes of this game, and it's now up to Sia to try and get their hands on the ball and just try and create a few phases. So far they have just continuously been defending in this game, and I think it's important that they start playing a bit of rugby, and for that they first need to get their hands on the ball.
So 14 points to nil for the visiting team, and also the team unbeaten. We are into the second quarter now. Rathwate with the kickoff or the restart, collected by Dinu Kamarasinghe. Into the traffic. Chamaradabare waiting to Rahula to arrive. Here's Mubarak to Niroshan Fernando. Lovely long pass to Sandun Herath. Cuts inside by Herath. Lovely step by Sandun Herath once again. Came inside looking for that support. Clever work by Riza Mubarak once again. Playing with a bit ease, although it was in the danger zone. Situm Piris shouldn't be conceding the position. Rahula to Dinu Kamarasinghe with a fend and looking for support. Another offload to Chamaradabare, the try scorer who scored the first try. And Sia, skipper, coming to Pereira with another textbook tackle. Fajrin has space. Cannot be isolated. Turnover. It's a ripper from Amalka Gururatne playing advantage and the counter attack. Here comes Riza Rafaidin. First touch for him. CRNFC left wing. Rahul De Silva to Chanaga Chandimal. Dulanjana Vijay into contact. Havies this time conceding a penalty. So Tharindra Rathwate, we saw him making a 60-meter penalty. Will he opt to the post, or will CRNFC win the territorial battle?
It's a great opportunity now for Sia to get back into Havelock's half. Rathwate will need to be accurate in his kick. Missed a couple of touch finders against Candy, which proved a bit costly for Sia in the final analysis of that game. But on this occasion, he has made no mistake. Just about 40 meters away from the Sia goal line. As we have a look at that once again, Amarasinghe again just getting in between those two players and offloading brilliantly to Dabare. It's just a wonderful sight to behold, isn't it, Sabir? That kind of skill, the ability to stand on the feet. He's got lovely physique, all the wonderful physical attributes, and I'm no doubt that in the coming years we'll see a lot of him, and will do a lot for Sri Lankan rugby as well.
Chandimal sends out to Amalka Gunaratne once again, pumping his legs. He's still going. Gained the much needed yardage for CRNFC, but here this is where you need the support of the team. Joel Pereira comes into contact. Dulanjana Vijay, or in fact Kokila Sambandha Peruma. Sia opting to work on the shorter side. Tharinda Ratwatte steps and he knocks it on. Advantage over.
There's another unforced error by Sia, this time Ratwatte. Without much pressure, just knocking the ball on. Lapse of concentration, if anything else. So these are the kind of mistakes that Sia have done throughout this game, and they find themselves down by 14 points to nil as we have a look at that once again. Ratwatte just trying to step inside and knocking the ball on. So far it's been all Havelocks in this game, hasn't been Sabir. Sia have looked rather lackluster when they've had possession, and they'll definitely need to up their game because Havelocks just seem to have things well under control so far.
Here we go, another scrum in favor of Havelocks, controlling once again. The scrum is clearly dominant or dominated by Havelocks. You can see Lasandu Ishan. CRNFC trying to hold this. And it's going to be a clear penalty.
Well, we spoke before the game, Sabir, about this Havelocks front row, and that Sia will need to be very careful and will need to be at the top of their game, especially the tight five, to hold on to this Havelocks pack. But again, Priyadarshana, Linton Flatley and Fajuddin just showing their class strength to overpower this Havelocks, the Sia 8. So Sia, I think they'll have no option. They will have to try and up the pace of this game, try and play the game out wide as much as possible, because the Havelocks 8 so far have just looked absolutely dominant. As we have a look at that scrum once again, the Sia pack totally disintegrating, just cannot hold their shape in the face of pressure mounted by the Havelocks pack. So Fajuddin to throw in. Again, finding Sharo Fernando, and Havelocks don't need a second invitation to do a driving maul. The ball is laid back to Vimukti Rahula. Havelocks create another phase. They're showing really good patience. Sia try as they might to try and counteract, putting pressure on Havelocks, but Havelocks just showing enough patience, which Sia unfortunately are not, and giving away unwanted penalties as Fajuddin makes another incisive break. Well cleared. Dabare on the flank does well to stay in play. Ball recycled once again. Rahula to Shanaka once again. The ball is recycled. Havelocks intent on keeping it as tight as possible. Priyadarshana going into contact once again. Again attacking to the fringe.
This is how they exactly score the first try up. They love faces after faces. There's so much patience and content. Oh, that's a nice pass by Niroshan Fernando to Umesh Madhushan. Trying to squeeze through. Get that overlap on the left. Priyadarshana, the man who scored the second try. Vimukti Rahul sends out wide. Numbers out wide. 3-on-2. Should have given out by Imanka Aryapala. Sandun Herat is a lonely man in the win-3 quarter. Havelocks retain position once again. Sharo Fernando to Liston Flatney. A little bit of twist, but managed to keep position. Dushmanta Priyadarshana with another dummy. He's got the support in numbers onto his right. Here's Fernando opting to go by himself. Good tackle by Chanaga Chandimal. Is it a turnover? Yes, it is a turnover by Rahul De Silva. And it was won back by Havelocks. Not so legitimately, says referee Priyantha Gunaratna. So it's going to be another penalty, but so far it's all about Havelocks, as you've said clearly, Abdullah. They are not giving this CRNFC a single opportunity to attack.
That's right, but Sia, hats off to Sia on that occasion. They just managed to wait at the correct time to pounce. Just, I think, a slight error in judgment by Niroshan Fernando. He would have done well to spread the ball out wide. Going into contact himself, you just felt that the Sia defense was not quite settled, and then eventually just not having enough numbers there. And first it was Rahul De Silva, and After that, I think it was Dixon who did very well to just get over the ball and draw that penalty. So Siaj just should try and just settle things down, fine touch, win that line out ball, just trying to go into to build up a few phases, recycle possession, and if they can do that and give their forwards some good front foot ball, then I'm sure they've got the ability and the skill to ask questions against this Havelock's defense. But so far, that just hasn't been the case.
So many bodies down on the ground. We're still in the 28th minute. So many minutes remaining for the first half. Liston Flatney, Havelock's number 3. He's carried a lot today. Then his opposite number, Kokila Sambandha Peruma, ThePapare is the other man who was excellent in the line outs. So Tarinda Ratwatta with the option to put this kick into touch as he made... talking about both the hookers, Abdullah Dulanjan and Vijay Singh, we still didn't see a real spark coming in this game despite his first knock on early on.
Yeah, that's right. He's been a bit lackluster this entire season so far. I'm sure when Sia recruited him, they would have expected a lot more from Dulanjan. He was absolutely fabulous for Navy over the last few seasons, but somehow that just hasn't found his feet in this CRNFC outfit. And I'm sure the Sia administration and the coaching staff we'll hope that he will get better as the season goes on.
Good work by Dias. Ball comes out and it's not legally. Let's see whether it's a knock on. Would be interesting if you can have a look at the replay. The line out was won by Dias.
Yeah, but I don't think it was cleanly secured and the ball was knocked on. So again, another unforced error by CRNFC, just turning possession over. As we have a look at that once again. Just knocking the ball down in contact. It's just these little errors that are costing CR dearly, and now another opportunity for Havelocks to try and use their scrum to good effect and try and draw another penalty. It was a monstrous scrum last time around. Let's see whether they can do that again. Making a great attempt to drive, but CR holding on this time.
Here's Fernando giving it to the dangerous Dinu Kamarasinghe with a big fan coming in on his opposite number. Chandimal and Rehan Silva combining with that tackle. ThePapare with a quick ball to Senal Dias. Rahula to Shara Fernando with a long pass to Lasindu Ishan Karunatilaka. A fend on Dulanjan and Vijay Singh. That looks too easy. Here's Lasindu Ishan Karunatilaka looking for his support. He cuts inside and the offload found Dulanjan and Vijay Singh. Should have held the ball with him to wait to arrive his support. Turnover. Here's the counter. Ratwatta puts the kick in. And the sweeper comes in. Reza Mubarak. And playing it safe by Mubarak. It's inside the 22. Captain Niroshan Fernando is not a happy chap over there.
Yes, quite rightfully so. I think Lasindu should have done better to identify Dabare being right behind him. I'm sure the communication would have come in brilliantly to break that first tackle. As we have a look at that once again. Again, Dulanjana just caught on his heels, being fended off rather comfortably. Lasindu just showing the speed that he has, but again throwing a very reckless blind pass. Would have done well if he just couldn't make that pass to just try and hold on to the ball. And who knows, Havelocks would have seen the opportunity of extending this lead. But again, Sia, they've just got to get hold of the ball. Is ThePapare. They haven't been able to do that in this game. And Havelocks have just made them pay at every given opportunity.
This is one fine performance by the men in pink. I think this is a performance for the first 30 minutes in this season so far, because most of the games they were trailing or they were going neck to neck in terms of the scoreboard pressure. But it's a completely different game and looks like a completely ready for this game, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yes, well, Havelocks definitely seem up for the game. Can't say the same about Sia. Look rather flat again. Loose throw by Sia, just turning position over once again, and an opportunity. Lasindu there to clear the ball.
Fernando to Amarasinghe. This time Tarinda Ratwatte was up like a flash. Dabare to Iman Karyapala. He had the support. Vimukti Rahula to Reza Mubarak. Flatney cuts inside. Pops the ball out. Rahula again with the position. Mubarak didn't have many numbers outside. Puts the kick into the deep. Dixon. Will he put the goosey? Yes, he beats one. Here comes another goose step. Dixon all the way. Dixon still running. Can he go all the way? Should have given it, and that's a high tackle. It's going to be a yellow card, son. And that is no mercy. Vimukti Rahula. Is that a penalty try incident, Abdullah? We can hear the fans, see our fans screaming on, but would be interesting to look at the replay. And the other question is, who's going to play halfback for the next 10 minutes for Havelocks?
Yes, we'll get back to that. But again, what a wonderful bit of footwork by Kevin. Just shows how dangerous he can be from the last line of defense, slicing through this entire Havelocks defense. Now it's a great opportunity for CR to try and make maximum use of this extra man for the rest of this half at least. They've got to get some form of score on the board. And CRNFC opting for a scrum. The set piece hasn't been the best option for them, as we have a look at that wonderful run by Kevin. Wonderful change of pace. Again, just using Niroshan, breaking that tackle, and Rahul just coming from behind, recklessly going, making a neck tackle. So Sia have got to make use of this extra man. A great opportunity, just about 5 meters away from their try line. It'll be interesting to see what kind of option they take. I don't think the pushover try is much of an option, because Havelock seem to be dominant in that area of the game.
I was about to say this, Abdullah. Also, I'm not sure whether it's the right decision. Maybe they are expecting Omalka Gunaratna to go through that whitewash, because just a 6 meter shot, as he does exactly so. Situm Piris with the tackle and holding on, almost a turnover. Rahul De Silva to summon the Perima once again. Oh, looks like half is Noor, I beg your pardon. But the tight and the loose head prop. Here's Rahul once again. Can Sia score their first try with this numerical advantage? We still didn't see Havelocks making any changes. Is that going to be another yellow, or just a crucial call? That's a high tackle this time by Liston Flatney. We'll see after another scrum.
Yeah, that's right. And I think there was another infringement as well. You could see Rahul De Silva just trying to get himself clear. I think it was Madhushan who was just holding on to him, and you cannot do that. The number 9 always cannot be touched at ruck time. So Havelocks, the second infringement. They need to be careful, as we have a look at that once again. Going along the fringes, attacking on the fringes, asking questions. Another wonderful open side on the right flank for Malka to work with. But the pack basically have got to give him that platform for him to do that.
Here's Gunaratna, fends off Situm Piris and gives the offload to Rahul De Silva, and Rahul De Silva will score the first try for CRNFC and the home team with the 5-pointer. It took so long as 37 minutes of this game, Abdullah. And finally, again they are trusting heavily on Omalka in those 5-meter scrums, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yeah, that's right. He managed to draw the defense and just offload the ball to Rahul, who probably made use of the extra man, isn't it? It's his opposite number who is not on the ground as well. So Sia capitalizing on that. But again, that scrum was by no means. If you can have a look at that scrum, the wheel was not on the exact side that Omalka would have liked. The wheel was on the opposite side, but yet he had the strength to break those couple of tackles and offload to Rahul to go over for Sia's first try.
14 points to 5 with the conversion to come from Sia, number 13, the highest point scorer in this season so far. Tarinda Rathwata with 63 points. Can he make it 65 with this conversion? Excellent work by Omalka and De Silva. And the conversion is no good. That's a terrible error by Rathwate. Very uncharacteristic, especially in this ground. Anyway, Havelocks will restart this with 9 points lead. You can see they have his bench, Delpa Chitra, Randy Silva, Mithun Hapagoda, who will play as a scrum half, will come handy in the second half. 33 minutes gone rather. Taking all their time, Havelocks. Of course, they are playing with a man down in the sin bin. The halfback Vimukti Rahula. Dulanjana with the catch. Straight away into contact. Great placement. De Silva opts to put the box kick in. Oh, it's a tackle in the air. It's a cardinal error. Playing advantage. Looks like the skipper Kavinda Pereira, who got contacted with the Lashandu Ishan Karuna Tilaka. Sharo Fernando. Referee still playing the advantage. It's a penalty advantage. It's a turnover by the Reds. As a result, Mr. Gunaratna will come for that tackle in the air.
It's a very careless error by Kavindu. We would expected him to have been a bit more mindful of what he was doing. CR just have got their first score on the board. They have the extra man, and then to concede a penalty like this is very, very poor. And probably a bit lucky to have got away without being carded as well. But I don't think there was anything sinister. It was just very, very careless. And he's probably put his team under a bit of pressure, as well as the lost opportunity to make use of this extra man. And it's these kind of situations, Abir, where CR just seem to have got a bit of momentum coming their way after scoring that first try. And then to commit an error like that with the kick-off is very, very poor. And you wouldn't expect that from your captain as well.
Absolutely, indeed. Here's Fajrin. So far, so good with his throwing this afternoon. Collected by Situm Piris. Havelocks going down. Trying to control that. Unfortunately, it didn't work according to their plan. Deshmanta Priyadarshana, man who scored the second try. Another pick can go, this time by Lashandu Ishan Karunatilaka. And it's a turnover. I think the guilty party is Senal Dilaka.
Yeah, that's right. Just sealing the ball completely over, not giving the opposition the chance to play the ball. I think it's been happening a few times in this game so far. Referee Gunaratne has so far let it go, but eventually I think he's decided to clamp down on that. If you seal over, the thing is you take away the fair contest between both the attacking team and the defending team. So CR an opportunity on the halfway mark to try and get some good quality ball.
Get your fix of sports news on all the ThePapare.com social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Follow us 24/7 news and special competitions as well on your #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. There's Dias the man, hoping to win this line out from Dulanjana. Of course, debuted with the Sri Lanka National Sevens outfit. Great work in the lineouts. Rahul De Silva to Chandimal. A bit of decoy running. That's a poor pass by Chanaka Chandimal. It's a gifted try. Is it going to be a gifted try? In fact, Sandun Herat was well tackled by Reza Rafaidin. That's a poor pass. Here's Delaka. Breakdown battle. CRNFC contested really well, balancing their body weight. And here's a swizzer, or a scissor rather. Tarindaratwate. Looks like not 10 meters this time by Havelocks.
It's a really poor pass by Chandimal. It's not the strength of his game, really. He's more of a kicking fly half rather than a distributing fly half. And it showed on that occasion. There was no reason to throw that wide pass. He could have gone through the hands. He had numbers out wide, throwing the ball to nowhere and just putting his team under a bit of pressure. So CR a bit lucky to get away from that. Again, some good turnover work by Kevin Dixon of all people, isn't it? Sabir, he's getting into the mix of it. So you can see the central bank governor, Indrajit Kumaraswamy, in the background, the former stalwart of CRNFC, former Sri Lankan captain as well. As we have a look at that once again, really poor pass by Chandimal, going to no one. And Sandun Hera did extremely well to pounce on that. Sia lucky to get away with that.
Connected by Dias De Silva with a no-look pass. He didn't have much of a time. That's a poor work by Rehan Silva. Chanaka Chandimal not going to recover that position because he was on the offside. He knew that. However, it's Havelocks with position taking their time. Flatney, the big man. Lovely work by Liston. Flatney draw and pass to what he needed. In fact, he doesn't need that, and all the way for the try. Liston Flatney. Oh dear. CNFC. My goodness. What a try, big man. Well done.
Absolutely well done, but again, very, very poor by CRNFC. From that line out, loose pass going to absolutely no one, and Flatley just picking the ball. I'm sure he was as surprised as anyone to see the lack of defensive work there. As we have a look at that once again, going through the fringes, staying on his feet, peeling away, and he had Madhushank outside but didn't need him. Tevin Dixon tried his best but was no match to bring down the big man, and Havelocks have just extended this lead, being down to 14 players, and Sia just have themselves to blame, isn't it, Sabir, from the situations they've been in. They just haven't made maximum use of it.
Absolutely clear mismatch between Flatney and Kevin Dixon. Here's Riza Mubarak with the conversion, and the conversion is good. So Havelocks will go to the halftime with 21 points to 5 lead, and the try scorers, two forwards among them, Liston Flatney and Dushmanta Priyadarshana, and one for Chamara Dabare, and that's the halftime stage. Referee Priyantha Gunaratna. What a lovely game we have witnessed here in this first half, especially from the away team, Havelock Sports Club, the unbeaten team, mind you. 21 points to 5, that's the score on your screens.
Yes, and they definitely played like an unbeaten team, hasn't it, Sabir? Their set piece has been the cornerstone of their game in this first half so far. It's been absolutely solid. At scrum time, they've dominated Sia. They have disrupted Sia's line-out ball as well, not giving them any clean ball. As we have a look at the highlights of the first half.
This was how it started. Lasindu Ishan with a lovely ball, and Dinu Kamar Singh a sucking cow in the pair, and Rehan Silva into him, and a silky offload from his left arm. Chamara Dabari said thank you very much. Riza Mubarak added the extras. 7 points to nil at the early on, and then again Havelocks dominated scrum, the position and the territorial battle, and Dushmanta Priyadarshana. And before he scored this try, this is the incident, and he came like a flash into that support. And it's not easy to hold a 105-ton, especially just a meter away. And Riza Mubarak added the extras, 14 points to nil. And in the 33rd minute, CRNFC scored another try. And that's all I think we have for the halftime highlights. And we'll go for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the second half action.
She won't take me somewhere I'm not supposed to be.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves, only from Crescent.
available Pulsar Mania now and upgrade to the new and improved Pulsar 200 NS from David Peary's Motor Company Private Limited.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරේදී කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? Hey Barry, මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ. ලංකාවේ කොහේ ගියත් රවුටරේ ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ. එක බිලයි, කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි. අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරේදී කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? Hey Barry, මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ. ලංකාවේ කොහේ ගියත් රවුටරේ ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ. එක බිලයි, කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි. අපේ ගෙදර හැමෝටම ඉන්ටනෙට් ඕනේ. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි රවුටරේ නිසා ගෙදරේදී කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. අපි වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් ගියත් පැකේජ් එක එකයි. ඒත් ගෙදරින් එළියට ගියාම හැමෝටම පැකේජ් එක අරන් යන්න පුළුවන්ද? Hey Barry, මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් පැකේජ් එක තියෙන්නේ. ලංකාවේ කොහේ ගියත් රවුටරේ ගෙදර තියෙද්දි ගෙදර හැමෝටම එකම පැකේජ් එකෙන් වෙන වෙනම ඉන්ටනෙට් යන්න පුළුවන් එකම ක්‍රමය. මොබිටෙල් වයිෆයි ප්ලස් විතරයි. ඒ විතරක් නෙමේ. එක බිලයි, කනෙක්ෂන්ස් ගොඩයි.
Welcome back to the live coverage. Second half just underway. Rahul De Silva with the box kick. And fumble by the Havelocks player. But Tarinder Ratwate says thank you very much. And all the way CRNFC with a try. With an immediate effect like the doctor ordered for the Reds. Absolutely wonderful start in the second half, Abdullah.
Just the start CR needed. They needed to score first and have done it within the first 30 seconds of the game. A wonderful box kick by Rahul De Silva. Brilliant chase by Rehan De Silva as well. And Ratwata on hand to pick up that loose ball and go over for CR's first score of this second half. And CR couldn't have asked for a better start. If Ratwata puts this over, the game is definitely back on. This is probably just the impetus CR needed going into this second half. Keep in mind they still have the numerical advantage of having an extra man. It'll be just for another couple of minutes or so, so they need to make it count. But I think they have got just the start they needed in this second half.
Tarinder Ratwata with his second conversion attempt, and this time he make no mistakes. And that add 65 points in this season as the highest point scorer. What a start. I'm sure Coach Nilfa Ibrahim would have given so much of advice in that halftime talk. This is the play, Rahul De Silva with that box kick, and that's a fumble by the wing three-quarter. Looks like Shamara Dabare. And Ratwate said thank you very much. Riza Mubarak with the restart. Dulanjana Vijay Singh gives it to Chanaka Chandimal. And Chandimal puts the kick into touch.
Yes, I think one area where Coach Nilufar Ibrahim would have really read the right act to this outfit in that halftime speech would have been the set pieces. They just need to be much more accurate, especially at line-out time. In the scrum, it's a bit difficult because obviously Havelock seem to have the edge in terms of weight that they possess, but line-outs is really no excuse. There isn't a huge height disparity between both these teams.
Situm Pires with the line out. Good jump and well collected. Pick and go. Fernando. Umesh Madhushan. And another pick and go. Fajruddin combining with Situm Pires, and it's going to be a turnover. Sia putting some huge amount of pressure. Very well done by Situm Pires to keep position. Priyadarshana running in the shorter side. Senal Dilaka. Well, Vimukti Rahula opting to go by himself. Release says referee Priyantha Gunaratna. Fajruddin pick and go. Looks like there is a replacement. Rahul Delpachitra comes in. That's a Sia player coming from the side. Number 6, Angamana. In fact, Mithila Pereira it was. Havelock still with position. Priyadarshana. Strong ball carrier. Dias trying to win that. He's off balance. Niroshan Fernando. And that's a knock on. And playing from the offside position, says a referee. Knock on, and Fernando is in offside. Would be interesting. It's touch and go by the looks of it. It'll be interesting if we can have a replay.
This it's the penalty against Havelock for being offside. Interesting to have a replay of that to see exactly what happened there. I think there was a knock on by Dinu Kamara Singh. A poor pass really by Niroshan Fernando. And I'm sure one of the Havelock's players would have been in front while trying to play the ball. So good touch finder by Ratwata. See Shamal Veerasekara, the Sia regular number 6, having an injury there. Yes, Niroshan definitely in front of Amra Singh when he played that ball. Well identified by referee Priyantha Gunaratna. So Havelocks under the cosh in this second half. Just approaching the 5th minute mark. It's been all Sia thus far, but Sia need to execute and be more accurate, especially at line-out time.
Vijay Singh with the throw-in, collected well by Mithila Pereira. Rahul Disila to Chanaga Chandimal. Lovely decoy running. Kavindu Pereira coming into action. Kevin Dixon trying to step inside. Don't think whether it's the right decision. Perhaps in and out to the left would be ideal, as he had the support of Reza Rafaidin. Umalka Gunaratna with the pass, 2-on-1. Dulanjana Vijay Singh once again with his butterfingers. Dear oh dear, how unfortunate is this man and CRNFC in terms of handling the ball.
Yes, well, it's not his first error of the game, and it's the error count just seems to be piling up from Dulanjana's point of view. Umalka did extremely well to break away from a couple of tackles. The thing with Umalka is when he runs, he does draw defenders towards him, which creates a space out wide for other players. But like we saw on that occasion, but unfortunately Dulanjana just spilling the ball, and he had numbers out wide as well. So they've just turned position over once again. And these are the kind of errors that I'm sure Sia will need to remove from their game if they have to mount a comeback in the second half.
46 minutes gone, 21 points to 12. The home team scored 2 tries and the men in pink scored 3 tries, 2-2. In fact, 2 among their forwards, both the prop forwards, Dushmanta Priyadarshana and the tight-headed Liston Flatlin scored a try. And Chamara Dabare with the first try in that first half. Havelocks again showing their dominancy in the scrum. Excellent work, playing advantage by referee. Long pass, a cutout pass. Here's a good run, 2-on-1. Reza Mubarak to Sadun Herat. Both Rehan Silva and Reza Rafaidin with the tackle. Amara Singh with the support. Situm Pires. Great work by Havelock's forwards. Sharo Fernando, that's a neck high. clearly see the referee's hand. It's going to be a penalty. ThePapare knocks it on. And also we are going to see a yellow card. This time it was Dias.
Yes, a bit reckless. Dangerous as well. I think Dias was warned previously by the referee as well. And Sia now will be down to 14 players for the next 10 minutes. Yes, it'll be interesting choice really. Niroshan Fernando seems to be wanting to go for touch. And he has found a wonderful touch find, isn't it? Just 5 meters out.
How good is that touch find? This is the incident. Look at Sinal Dias.
Yes, you could say that Shenal Dai was a bit unfortunate as well. Shara was trying to go low, but the referees have been instructed to clamp down on seatbelt tackles, as they say it is, or high tackles. And I think Shenal was warned prior as well, so will have to face the consequences by being on the bench for the next 10 minutes.
Fajrin with the throw-in. So far so good. He's this evening or this afternoon. Fernando with the collection. Can Havelock go for the bonus point try? This is dangerous. This is going to be very hard for CRNFC. There comes Dushmanta Priyadarshana. And there goes the big Dushmanta Priyadarshana. And that's the 4th try, which is the bonus point try for Havelock Sports Club. Excellent stuff.
Yes, well, from that kind of distance, you are not going to stop Priyadarshana, and just his bulk, his body position, his technique. Wonderful body position. If you can have a look at that replay once again, you can see how low he goes. It's very, very hard to stop a man of his weight when he goes with that kind of determination. As we have a look at that once again, Siag this time down to 7 players, finding it very difficult to stop this rolling ball. Beautifully peeled. Priyadarshana just driving the ball once again. And then just look at that wonderful body position. Rehan Silva had absolutely no chance to stop him. So again, this driving maul, Sabir, once again coming to hurt CRNFC today as well. They were very poor in defending it up in Kandy last week, and they just don't seem to have had any answers to what Havelocks have dished out today.
Yes, indeed, Reza Mubarak. So far, his success rate is 100%, 3 out of 3, and here's the 4th one. And there's no, actually just out wide as we speak. So score will remain 26 points to 12. There's still plenty of time remaining. CRNFC scoring that first try in the second half with the kickoff. And Rahul De Silva's box kick. A Chamar ThePapare error. And Thandarathwate said thank you very much. Akil Jamaldin, assistant referee. But looking at the body language, CRNFC have to show a little bit urgency, isn't it, Abdullah?
Yeah, that's right, and they just need to cut out on these unforced errors, which they seem to be plaguing them throughout this game. Just little errors just seem to be getting in their way, and whenever they do find getting back into the game, again Amar Singh just breaking that first tackle.
Every time he gets the ball in hand, he's a dangerous player. He makes yards, he breaks the tackles, and silky offloads coming into action. That's how Havelock scored the first try. Niroshan Fernando marshalling his troops, screaming for numbers. But how good is that 3 tries among the forwards out of 4 for Havelocks. Here's that clearance. This time he finds the man. Rahul De Silva, Kevin Dixon to Thandarathwate. Joel Pereira cuts inside. Joel Pereira needs support. Good tackle coming in by Imanka Aryapala and Amara Singh. Chandimal to the replacement. Gayan Udara. Good run by the replacement prop forward. Another pick and go by Saman the Pirma. Rahul De Silva to Dulanjana Vijay Singh. Good pop pass. Offload. Here's the Rathwata to Riza Rafaidin. Good tackle. Textbook stuff by Sadun Herat. Moving forward with the tackle. Here's Dulanjana once again. One Havelock player is down. Rahul taking his time. Rehan Silva acting as first receiver. A long pass by Ratwate to Kavindu Pereira. He's not having a good birthday. The Sia skipper. Terrible error. Kevin Dixon, 2-on-1. Simple stuff. When you especially play for Sri Lanka 7's team, this should be bread and butter.
It's really poor by Sia once again. They had the numbers, just needed to go hands. Don't think Kavindu was expecting that pass. Probably he expected Dixon to try and make a few inroads, but really poor error and just relinquishing the pressure whenever they have an opportunity, isn't it, Sabir? It's been the bane of CRNFC this entire game. Unless they cut out these errors, just don't see them getting back into this game anytime soon.
Clear difference is that, Abdullah, every time Havelocks managed to go into the red zone, they came with the points, and whereas CRNFC, every time they were going into the opposite red zone, it's not what they really wanted.
Yes, it's also a lot to do with Havelock's game plan, isn't it, Sabir? They're very intent on keeping the ball tight, attacking the fringes. The chances of making errors in those kind of situations are very much less, as long as your ball security is good. But Sia have no option. They have to go wide. That's where their strength is. And when they're doing that, they haven't been accurate enough. The ball hasn't been going to the hands. Some of the passes have been rather loose. And that's just reflected on the scoreboard, really. Just wonder the switch of Ratwata to the outside center position from his pet fly half position, what kind of impact that has had on the fluency of the CR three-quarter line as well. We'll discuss that a bit later, as again you can see the Havelock's forwards dominating this scrum.
No mercy whatsoever. Almost all the scrums won by Havelocks attacking scrum. Also they put so much pressure on the defensive scrum, didn't give or allow any room for CNFC. Clever work by Fernando, but is it out on the full?
Yes, I think he was playing for the penalty from that scrum infringement. Havelocks have made a change to that front row as well. Flatley has gone off and I think Delpachitra has come on, but it just doesn't seem to have had any impact on that Havelock scrum. They're yet as dominant as ever. And I think the reason for that is very much Priyadarshana, isn't it, Sabir? In that tight head position, he's been absolutely fantastic. His scrummaging has improved leaps and bounds this season. Always he has been very good in loose and open play with his handling skills as well. But this year his scrummaging has gone up a notch as well, and it's been the cornerstone of Havelock's success this season.
CRNFC still with a man down. Dias was sin bin for a high tackle on Sharo Fernando. Sharo Fernando, as we speak, wins the line out. Havi's once again capitalizing position, but this time Delpa Chitra. I'm not sure what was the call.
Yeah, I think Mithila Silva just coming in over, identifying the correct moment and just trying to scavenge the ball. So Havelock so penalized for holding on. Just the timing of that was absolutely fantastic. You can see Coach Priyanth Gunaratne just telling the players to calm down, let him do his job. Last thing you want in these kind of games is for the players to be refereeing as well, just adding to the confusion. The referees have a tough job as it is. So another opportunity for Sia. Sure, they have done a contrary what to do, and Ratwata deciding to go for the post, because the thing is their line out has been so poor so far in this game. It's not really an option. And even at scrum time, they have really struggled. Havelocks have absolutely dominated. And as we have a look at that once again, Mithila just coming right over, not releasing the ball.
Yeah,
Delpa Chitra, the guilty party on that occasion.
Sorry, Abdullah. Absolutely good work by former Wesley player Mithila Pereira. Interesting decision by Tharendra Ratwat, especially this with a wide angle, Abdullah. It's pretty much 55 meters, and this time makes no mistakes. He seems to be enjoying all these long distance kick, Abdullah.
Yes, well, he's definitely slotting the difficult ones over. So Sia reduced the deficit by 3 points. 15 points to 26 now. Still a lot of work to be done. Sia just haven't been able to find any kind of rhythm in this game so far. It's been very stop-start from their point of view. It's all can be as a result of the high error count on their part. As we have a look at that wonderful strike by Ratwatta, bisecting the uprights. Havelock's kickoff once again. Ball falling into no man's land and going out to touch. A bit fortunate for Sia. I'm sure that they would have preferred to collect that ball and set up play rather than going for a line out. It's not been their best part of the game in this match so far.
55 minutes, still plenty of time remaining. A quarter and maybe 5 minutes, 25 minutes is a lot. Anything could happen. Can the home team re-energize their attack? Collected by Dyers. The numbers are even now, 15 all. This is a breaker from Vijay Singh. Havelock's trying to win the battle. Kavinda Pereira acting as halfback. Ratwatte puts a little pop and the bounce doesn't come in favor of him. And Sia, in fact, Havelock's playing from an offside position. But the referee is going for that line-out incident, I think, where the initial infringement came in.
Yes, the Havelock's player attacked from the side. A rare error by, a rare infringement rather by Havelock's. So an opportunity for Sia to once again clear their lines. Again, all the Sia on that occasion winning the line out just couldn't set that base properly to execute that driving maul properly. It's a very important part of the modern game, isn't it, Sabir, the driving maul? It's a way of wearing down your opponent. All teams execute it well. So we can have a look at Coach Sanat Martis keeping a close eye on proceedings. Sia really need to start getting their line out act together, because so far in the last game against Kandy and here as well, they've really struggled in this area.
Vijay Singh yet again with the line out. You can see Coach Sanat Martis must be a happy man up to now, but he knows that rugby is not played for 60 minutes. It's an 80-minute game, and this time once again almost a coughed up opportunity. Looks like a knock on in the line out. These are the schoolboy errors when you play semi-professional rugby.
Yes, there seems to be a real lack of communication in this line-out calls by CRNFC. You can see Hafiz Noor showing his frustration, telling the players, his teammates, that you have to lift the ball receiver, but there just seems to be a breakdown in communication.
Vimukti Rahula put the feed. A bit chilled Havelock's bench, you can see. Mithun Habagoda on the bench, former Sri Lanka Sevens player. And another penalty, a scrum penalty. This is no good. And I think Niroshan Fernando will go for the points. Having a word with his coach on the bench. Looks like they are going to kill some time. Why not, if their line out is working well, if their scrum is working well? Put some more pressure, gaining those territorial advantage. Again, when you come inside the 22, the defending team is always under pressure.
Yeah, that's right, and it's a real contrast, the Havelock's line out as against the Sia line out, isn't it, Sabir? As we have a look at that once again, Shanur just losing his footing and being penalized very correctly.
Havelock's number 14, Sandun Herath, former St. Peters and Sri Lanka Sevens cap. It was not straight, gifted position again.
It's a rare error by Havelock's at line out time. They've been on song in that area, but on that occasion, Fajuddin just not managing to find his mark. So an opportunity for now Sia to just clear their lines.
Another replacement, Wajid Fahmy comes in for CRNFC. Here's that throw. Not straight clearly by Fajrin. Perhaps it could be the first mistake that he made, Havelock's hooker. But the game from an enthralling first half, and it's becoming a bit sloppy encounter in this third quarter. Coach Nilf Ibrahim made few changes as Wajid Fahmi joins the pack. Omalka Gunaratna to Rehan Silva, his former teammate in the green jersey. Here's Rahul De Silva once again to Tharinda Ratwata, clearing distance. Riza Mubarak, no pressure whatsoever. He will put the kick up and under. And there comes his chase. Can he collect it? Regather. And it's a knock on. Playing advantage. Rehan Silva was tackled by Sandun Herat. Noor giving it to Ratwata. Puts the kick. Lasindu Ishan. Rahul De Silva trying to counter. Ball comes out. Sia with a penalty. Taken it quickly by Rahul De Silva. Another advantage coming. It's a penalty advantage. Kavinda Pereira yet again acting as halfback. Tharinda Ratwata to Umalka Gunaratna. 2-on-1. Joel Pereira. Riza Rafaidin goes inside. Arya Pala joins the tackle.
Again, Riza just losing the ball in contact. They are very, very poor. I can't understand this kind of errors that Sierra are doing, just basic errors. Fortunately, referee was playing advantage as Havelocks had not retreated the mandatory 10 meters. But I think Sia will do well. I think Rahul made the correct choice in taking that quick tap. I don't think them going into set piece play, the way Havelocks have been dominating that area of game, is going to serve them any purpose. So once again, another penalty for Sia. Interesting options they will have to take. Kavindu Pereira, what will he do? So Ratwada has pointed towards the post once again. As we have a look at that error, I think there was a knock on, and the Havelocks supporting player played the ball from an outside position. So an opportunity for Ratwada to further cut this deficit down as we've entered the last quarter of this game.
.68 points in this season so far. The highest point scorer. You can see at the background, Supun Varnakulasuriya. Looks like he's nursing injury, and this time again kick is wide. So 3 points goes begging for the home team. 15 points to 26. Sia need to score twice with one converted try. Riza Mubarak to take the 22 dropout. And he puts the kick deep. Rahul De Silva with the catch. Chandimal to Kevin Dixon. Trying to beat his first defense. De Silva arrives on time. Good draw and pass. Chandimal to the replacement. Good run, cutting inside by Sia's number 19, Gayan Dilshan. Sia playing a little bit organized attack. Here's Wajid Fahmi. Again runs laterally and waits for his support. Havelocks trying to hold him up and win that attacking scrum. De Silva puts the kick into space, and Dabare collects it with a mark call. However, it's going to be a 22 for, in fact, a penalty for a high tackle. Ratwate has another chance to put a 3 point and reduce the deficit. We didn't see Havelocks conceding this much of penalties early on, Abdullah.
Yes, the single reason is Sia have got more possession in this half. They have managed to recycle possession, control the ball a bit more, and they've managed to draw some penalties from Havelocks. So from that penalty, Sia deciding to go for touch. Interesting call given the way their lineout has functioned in this game. Supporters will be hoping that there's some accuracy this time around.
Going deep, Joel Pereira with the catch. Good work though. So many numbers to rescue that ball. De Silva to Gayan Dilshan. Much better rugby. Rahul De Silva. Here's Chandimal to Tarinder Ratwata. He cuts inside looking for that support. Good skill. Chandimal here once again to Umalka Gunaratna with an inside pass. And good supportive work by Chandimal. Havelock's trying to counter. See, just cutting it loose on that breakdown. But here you can sniff a try coming from the Reds. They need to be a bit more smarter. We can go by, see, a front rower. Rahul De Silva. Here's Mithilan Pereira combining with Wajid Fahmy. Moving forward, scrum down. It's going to be the scrum in favor of the Reds.
Yes, that's much better by Shreya. Just they need more of their forwards to commit themselves down to the breakdown. There are too many forwards standing out wide. And but there's a danger of the ball carrier being isolated. But that's much better by Shreya. They've just got to be a bit more patient in how they execute their attack. So it's a scrum 5 meters away. Great opportunity for Umalka to try and make a break for it. But for that, he's got to have a good steady scrum, which hasn't been the case so far in this game. Priyadarshana once again has been absolutely immense for Havelocks. He's been very dangerous in the fringes, has been absolutely outstanding at scrum time. The wonderful servant he has been for Havelocks rugby.
Here's the scrum. Umalka Gunaratna breaks. And Umesh Madhushan went so low. He beats the first man. 2 meters short. Here's the replacement, Gayan Dilshan. And he scores the try. So CRNFC with the third try. And with the conversion to come, just 2 points short.
Yeah, that's right. A great fight back by Sia, just mounting it once again. But I just think that on that occasion, Havelock's defense was just caught napping a bit lazy, really. There wasn't much resistance as you would expect. As we have a look at that once again, Umalka making that initial break, breaking the first tackle, going into contact. Ball recycled again very well. Again, a bit a soft attempt by Amara Singh on that occasion, going far too high to try and stop Mithila. And Mithila just having enough momentum to go over, and Ratwata slots the conversion over. So as we approach the last 15 minutes of this game, there's just one score in it, Sabir. And Sia seem to have awoken from their slumber of that first half performance and are right back in it. And we're in for a wonderful last 15 minutes of rugby.
Tarinder Ratwata with the conversion, Gayan Dilshan with the try. So it's a 4-point game now, 26-22. Well, Havelocks wouldn't have thought that this is going to be this close. We still got 12 minutes remaining on our clock. It's not the referee's clock for your information. And the restart was collected by Rahul De Silva inside the 22, but that's certainly not the best kick into touch. Can Havelocks create some moment? Can CRNFC do what they did in this second half? So far so good for them. But we still didn't see Rizara fighting the man on your screen a while ago. We saw how he was used in terms of defensive work rate, but in terms of attack, both the occasion that he got the ball, once he lost the contact, lost the ball when he went as into the contact. Shot of Fernando claims the ball. Havelocks trying to move forward. Priyadarshana, who scored the try in the first half. who scored a couple of tries rather. It's another big run. Looks like a high tackle penalty coming in. Will be interesting to see a replay of that tackle. Knew that advantage is coming. Is it going to be a yellow card as well? Well. How unfortunate. Gayan Dilshan just scored a try. And there you go. Out for the next 10 minutes. Probably it's going to be until the full-time whistle. We never know. We would like to see a replay of that incident.
Yes, but it's been the story of Sia this game, isn't it? They just seem to get a bit of momentum, then they give it away by making some sort of a silly mistake, really. As we have a look at that replay once again. A really lazy tackle, but Fajuddin was going a bit low as well, so a bit unfortunate, but the referees have been told very clearly to clamp down on any form of high tackle. So Sia Havelocks once again deciding to go to touch. They've been consistent in that aspect. They've had many kickable opportunities, but deciding to go for the line out throughout this game. I think it's partly to do with the fact that they have executed line out quite well as Sia's well-known weakness against defending the driving maul.
It's an interesting call indeed by Niroshan Fernando, the skipper. Here's Fajuddin. The ball was deflected from Shahrukh Fernando. Sinal Dilaka claims the ball as he goes to the ground. Vimukti Rahula, and that's almost an interception by Chanaka Chandimal. Another advantage. In fact, here's Lasindu Ishantu Dinu Kamarasinghe. Straight away into the 12 and 13 channel. Amarasinghe. Here's Imanka Aryapala, the outside centre. And Chamara Dabare with the pass to Shahrukh Fernando. Havelock still playing the advantage. It's an offside advantage, in fact. Vimukti Rahula. And it's going to be a try. That's very clumsy work by Kavindu Pereira. What's going on, CRNFC? Vimukti Rahula, he just wanted to take the penalty on offer. I'm not sure whether it's an intentional kick, expecting a 5-pointer.
Yeah, I think he was just playing the advantage, wasn't it, Sabir? It was he just took a chance with it, and Dabare was just good enough to chase it down. You can see where Kavindu was. He was just up, didn't expect that kick, had to turn around and chase, just couldn't find his footing. And Dabare was just on hand to just pounce on that loose ball and get his second try for the game. So whenever Sia just gets some parity in the game, they just lose it by committing some silly mistake, and Havelocks just have been good enough to punish them on every single occasion.
Too bad. Is that the final nail on the coffin? We never know. Still quite a lot of minutes remaining. Interesting decision early on not to go for the 3 points as well. Reza Mubarak with the conversion, and he missed it. So score remains 22-31. And again, CRNFC down by 9 points.
Yes, down by 9 points, down by a man as well. Trying to take a quick kick-off. Rehan Silva just following that up, 7 style. Has done that on numerous occasions for the national team in sevens rugby, but unfortunately on that occasion just unable to control it and conceding a knock-on. So Mithun Hapugoda has come onto the field instead of Vimukti Rahula, who also has had a pretty good game for Havelocks. And it's great to have that kind of experience coming onto the field, isn't it, Sabir, in this dying stages, just to close out the game.
31 points, 22. Unbeaten. Havelocks looking solid. Certainly Havelock was a candy. Would be a game to watch in this final round of the first leg.
Again, a massive scrum by Havelock. Sia just haven't had an answer to this.
Very lucky.
Very, very lucky. I don't know how the referee could not have penalized Sia for that. Sia were definitely wheeling the scrum under pressure, and I think can consider themselves very lucky to have got away with that. But again, just shows the dominance of this Havelock scrum in today's game, hasn't it, Sabir? As we have a look at that once again. Also, just the body position of the Havelock's forwards. You can see they're just standing, isn't it? They're just in no position whatsoever to offer any kind of resistance to that Havelock's drive.
Absolutely, indeed. Havelocks have done their homework in the set pieces, especially they did remarkably well. Maybe one mistake from Fajrin on that throw. Mithun Hapagoda, the replacement scrum half. And he was offside, says the referee. Chandimal takes it quickly. Gives out to Tarinder Ratwata. Ratwata with a step and a fend. Good tackle from his opposite number, Dinu Kamarasinghe. Here's Rafaidin trying to regain position. Kavinda De Costa, the replacement halfback. Straight away into action. Here's Costa. Once again, this is much better. And Noor inches away or a meter short from the try line. Turnover, not so legally. Referee Priyantha going for that high tackle infringement.
Yes, well, this is where Sia have always looked dangerous throughout the season, when they've upped the pace of the game, when they're playing it at high tempo. And I just don't think we have seen enough of that. One reason could be that Havelocks have done extremely well to starve them of possession. But little bit of possession they have had, Sia just haven't been able to just up the tempo of the game. Now they decided to take a quick tap, which I feel is definitely the correct call. Trying to create some good quick phases. The big men going in.
CRNFC with possession. Mithila Pereira trying to place the ball, and it's a turnover. Mithila Pereira, as he gone to the lower center of gravity, when he tried to place the ball, it was not going in favor of Sia.
Yes, well, I think Havelocks had turned the ball over, and then Mithila, just in desperation, while being on the ground, tried to retrieve the ball again and conceding a really soft penalty. So again, Sia just not being very accurate when it comes in the collision, isn't it? They've lost position number of times. As we have a look at that once again, I think it was Charana Shamikara just not presenting the ball again, and as we have a look at that, Mithila very
Mithun
correctly.
Exactly, Abdullah. Sorry, Mithun Hapagoda did place the ball, and Mithila Pereira trying to squeeze through the ball, not from the letter of the law. And as we progress into the final minute or so, Abdullah, we also have to talk about the ThePapare player of the match, and Niroshan Fernando puts the kick into touch.
Yes, well, there have been some good performances by Havelocks. Chamara Dabare did reasonably well, I thought, in this game to touchdown twice. Dinu Kamarasinghe has had his moments as well. I thought Vimukti Rahula was good at the back of the scrum. But probably for his overall performance, both at scrum time and also his ball carrying ability, I'd have to go for Dushmanta Priyadarshan. I think he's been absolutely fantastic for Havelocks today. At scrum time, he's just held that pack together and dominated the CR pack from the tight head scrum position. And then whenever he's had the ball at the fringes, he's been absolutely devastating. So he would be my man of the match for today's game.
Well done, Dushmanta Priyadarshan, the Papare's player of the match as we speak. Fajrin sprints through into the 100-kilometer, and here's Mithun Hapagoda. And lovely work. Unfortunately, Fajrin knocks it on. Probably Fajrin want to give you a heading, Abdullah. He could be the man of the match as well. But here's Kavinda Pereira. It's too little too late for CRNFC, conceding another penalty. It was in favor of Sia though. Sashan Mohammed and Kavinda De Costa, little bromance going on. And the player of the match trying to calm down. Dushmanta Priyadarshan, of course, the veteran player. And of course, former captain of Havelocks, Dixon with the quick tap. Beat one, beat two, and he's not in a position to release the ball. Well. Ball possession still remains in favor of the Reds. Yes, we have fever national sevens cap. Is that what Kevin Dixon trying to do? Get the tap and run?
Yes, I think that's where Sia have been very dangerous in this game, because again we've harped on this enough of this game. I'm sure the viewers would have been tired of hearing it, but the set pieces of CRN FC has been absolutely poor, and just haven't been able to get anything right. As we have a look at that game once, that quick tap taken once again, Havelock's Shara Fernando on that occasion just not staying on his feet, conceding a penalty. So we approach the last minute of this game, and I think Sia will have to cop their second loss for the season, because they just seem to be very poor in that aspect, and so I guess just a fitting finale, the fact that they have lost another line out.
They lost another line out, and all the way referee coming back to another penalty. It's Sia's penalty. Can they at least secure a losing bonus point? That's what is on the card for Nav Abdullah. Score 4 tries with a bonus losing points, or the margin has to be 7 or less. So there's going to be 2 losing bonus points. Again, terrible error in the line out, and the experienced Mithun Hapagoda puts the ball into touch. That's all over, as Havelock's revenge CRN FC after their last year's encounter. 31 points to 22. 3 goals for Havelock's. In fact, 5 tries, or 4 tries rather.
Well, how fitting is it, Sabir, for CRN FC, the last play of the game, to lose their own line-out ball? It's been something that has happened throughout the game, and
that sums up the story, Abdullah.
Absolutely, and but full credit to Havelocks. I thought they've executed their game plan extremely well. They got themselves into as many confrontational positions with CR as possible. They've got themselves involved in a lot of tight scrummaging. The line-out drive was very accurate again, and just CR were not up to it, and Havelocks ending up well-deserved winners and definitely look like title contenders. That game against Kandy is going to be an absolutely crucial game in this first round. But Havelocks, if they can show that dominance which they had today, especially at set-piece time against Kandy, then they'll definitely be in with a shout.
Absolutely, indeed. Some good camaraderie by both the teams after a little bit of bromance as the replacement players trying to, as they couldn't fit into their nerves. However, such a wonderful game by the men in pink. They came well prepared, 31 points to 22 after leading in that first half. And the set piece was absolutely brilliant, especially Dushmanta Priyadarshana was outstanding, so as Liston Flatney in that first half. What a lovely try that he scored. We'll have a look at the action replay, and here's the highlight. This is how it all started in this week 5 action. Lasan Dushan Karnatilaka with a long pass to Dinu Kamarasinghe, and look at that. Oh boy, isn't it sensational offload. Chamara Dabare said thank you very much, and here came the conversion from Reza Mubarak. 7-0 Havelocks led, and then Lasan Dushan once again. We missed him to mention about his performance when we decided the man of the match. But here's the man, Dushmanta Priyadarshana, came for the support, and it's not easy to stop a 110 kg from 1 meter shot. Mubarak with the conversion, Havis led 14 points to 0. And here came the first try from Umalka Gunratna with a lovely offload. This is what they needed from him, and Rahul De Silva dotted down. And this try, a magical stuff. Liston Flatney will remember for his life. All the way he beats Kevin Dixon. It's no match. And what a joy. Look at the celebration. Unfortunately, we cut that shot. And Reza Mubarak, 3 out of 3 conversion for him. 21 points to 0. And when we came into the second half, just like the doctor ordered, CRFC with courtesy of Rahul De Silva's box kick and a fumble by Dabare and Tharindra Ratwate, all the way 45 meters to touchdown in the 30 seconds of the restart and also that conversion. And then Havelocks had the momentum, had the position, and again with a set piece, set driving maul, Dushmanta Priyadarshana barged over for his second try, and Rathwate with a nearly 55 to 58 meter kick. A penalty was sealed to 31 points to 32, and that's pretty much sums up this game. But Havelocks, congratulations, CRNFC going into this, Abdullah, they have to work a lot in terms of their set pieces.
Yes, it just comes down to that, and also just the ability to try and minimize the errors, especially in contact. It's another area where they have been very poor, and this was the second try by Dabare. A cheeky little kick. He was just playing for the advantage, and the CR defense was caught napping on that occasion, and that was the final nail in CR's coffin, as it were. So full credit for Havelocks, as we can see. CRNFC won't carry any bonus points from this game as well. They just scored the 3 tries against Havelocks 5, and that's the player of the match, Dushmanta Priyadarshana. I don't think anyone can argue with that. He was absolutely immense for Havelocks today at scrum time, in the loose, along the fringes, and just when Havelocks have needed him, he's always stepped up, hasn't he, Sabir?
Absolutely wonderful stuff. And let's have a look at the upcoming fixtures of this Dialogue Rugby League. Tomorrow, 2 games. Kandy will host CHNFC, and Police versus Air Force at Police Park. We'll be bringing you live pictures from Kandy versus CHNFC from Nitavella grounds. And moving on to upcoming fixtures in the week 6 of Dialogue Rugby League, it's going to be a CR versus Air Force, Police versus Army, Kandy versus Havelocks. That's going to be a cracking encounter on the 16th of December, and also Navy versus CHNFC at Valisara. And that's all we have from the Longdon Place and Dialogue Rugby League. We'll see you tomorrow with more action, and myself and Abdullah Piris along with the ThePapare technical crew, we are signing off. Good night and enjoy the weekend.
Crunchy munchy.
Fiery Kochi.
Crescent Kochi Bites. Try it. Love it. The original Kochi Bites only from Crescent.
Sophisticated selection of Yardley, London.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Cheesy treats, we want more.
Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves only from Crescent. Crescent Mini Keeves. Try it. Love it. The original Mini Keeves only from Crescent.
Get with the global Pulsar Mania now and upgrade to the new and improved Pulsar 200 NS from DRL Motor Company Private Limited.